Recently, I decided to play some tower defense game in Roblox, but then quickly realized that everything that I've been playing for a long time, like TDs or TDX, just got extremely boring. But then I found some game named Another Tower Defense Game, and I gave it a try.
We begin the game by exploring the lobby. The developers did an excellent job with its design. There are so many interesting features in it. Just take a look at this store. It's an incredible reference to the old tower defense simulator lobby. When you finally remember that you're here to play tower defense, you'll notice some buttons on the left side of the screen. One of them leads to the store. You will find out that you can buy 7 towers using coins, 4 towers using badges, and 4 towers for beating different game modes. In total, you can get 15 towers. Not bad for a game that was released just a month ago. If you finally started creating a server for your game, you'll discover that it includes a total of 12 maps. The more challenging the map, the greater the reward you'll receive for conquering it. Additionally, this game offers modifiers. There are only 5 of them, with 2 of them currently locked to me. So, let's dive into the game. First, I'll try out the easiest game mode, Breeze. I'll play solo with starter towers. Then, the main developers of the game will help me showcase the moderate or medium game mode. Let's focus on the Breeze mode for now. It should be beginner-friendly and beatable with starter towers. So, let's see if that's true. I started the game by placing a slasher, a melee tower that does great DPS but has a short range. When you open the upgrade menu, you'll see why this game is so unusual. It lets you choose how to upgrade your tower. For example, you can upgrade the slasher to have very high DPS but no multiple enemies damage, or you can upgrade it to hit multiple enemies but with low DPS. Pretty interesting, right? Back to the game, I upgraded the slasher to have good DPS and was easily defeating early game enemies. However, tough enemies came, with more health than normal ones. One of them leaked, and I wanted to place some towers to kill him. But then I looked at his health and realized he was slowly dying. This game has a unique feature called bleed mechanics. When enemies are hit, they slowly lose health over time. Later in the game, I noticed some enemies had been leaked, so I decided to start placing recruits. Recruits have more upgrades than slashers, and you can get them to a total of 5 different maximum levels. Let's take a quick look at all the upgrades. First, I got the stronger bullets. However, the general told me that cloak enemies were coming soon, and I needed cloak detection to deal with them. So, I started upgrading another recruit for that. If you get the hand wraps for a recruit, they get cloak detection and then stronger eyesight. After that, you can choose between 2 options, the longshot Uzi, which is cheap and gives you a faster firing rate, or the ammo pack, which gives you double damage and a much bigger burst. I chose the second option and easily defeated the cloak enemies. The first boss arrived, so I decided to upgrade my first recruit to the maximum. With 15 damage, the first boss was not a problem. Now, I'm getting the AK-47 upgrade. It fires pretty fast, but unfortunately, it has low damage compared to the first recruit. Next, I placed a 4th recruit and upgraded it for the longshot Uzi. However, it's just trash, so don't use it. For the last recruit, we have a detector. They gain cloak detection and also flying detection. Yes, this game has flying enemies that won't arrive at the Breeze mode but will do so in the harder modes. I'll show them later. Now we have full team recruits, which means it's time to max out the slasher. But wait, do you hear the music? Alright, it's wave 20 already, and the first boss, Interlacer, is arriving now. With 1425 HP, Interlacer walks pretty fast and can stun towers. However, my army of recruits easily defeats him. Alright, it's time to max the slasher. Now, they have 35 damage, 0.2 firing rate, and a DPS of 175 with 10 bleed, which can stack 10 times. Pretty strong. I even think this is the best beginner tower, excluding cloak enemies. For the other slasher upgrade, they have AoE damage, 45 damage that increases by 1 for every kill they get and caps at 75, and a 0.75 firing rate. It does 100 DPS to 1 enemy if you max it out, so if it hits at least 2 enemies, it already beats the assassin slasher. However, remember that the knight slasher cannot make enemies bleed, making it much worse than the assassin slasher. The only remaining beginner tower is the hunter. He is not very strong, and I wouldn't recommend using him. The only useful upgrade he has is the one that makes him fire bullets quickly, but this upgrade is quite expensive. Upgrading the recruit to stronger bullets is a better option. Let's move on to the last wave. The Vindicator has appeared, and he is the final boss of the Breeze mode. He has 18,000 hit points and can stun and even destroy towers. To counter him, I recommend placing towers like the Recruit with strong bullets or the Hunter with fast-firing bullets. Additionally, you will need to place many baits near him, as he can easily one-shot all your expensive towers. However, I managed to win this battle even with starter towers. I earned 400 coins and 160 experience points. The battle lasted for a total of 18 minutes. I'm confident that you can do much faster than me, so why not give it a try? Finally, I'm going to try out the moderate mode. Of course, I can't win it on my own, so I've called the game's main developers, Jeff Blazy and Fakes. We agreed that they wouldn't use any admin commands, so it should be a fair game. We started the game well, with me placing a slasher and Jeff getting a cryochainer. I was getting more and more slashers, while the other two people were farming with an economist. At wave 6, Jeff got an arsonist, a kind of pyromancer in this game. As always, he shoots fire at the enemies. But then the cloak enemies leaked, so I quickly got my recruit to deal with them. After that, I started focusing on getting more recruits while the developers were farming. Then, Fakes got a raider. This tower is like the crook boss from TDS, but it summons cowboys on later levels instead of crooks. At wave 14, flying enemies came. I decided to get my hunter's anti-air upgrade to kill them, but quickly ran out of money. Luckily, we had snipers, a pretty strong tower that can be placed only on cliffs, and of course, got flying detection. For the next 10 waves, everything was pretty much the same. At wave 25, the first boss of the moderate mode arrived. A zoner is a pretty strong enemy with 7k HP, runs very fast, and can easily kill your towers. But for our snipers, he wasn't a problem at all. On wave 31, we faced the second boss of the moderate mode, the Corruptor. He has 17k HP and can also kill your towers, but the main problem is that he comes with a huge horde of enemies that can easily make you lose. Luckily, the snipers with the cowboys did their job well and killed him without even letting him pass half of the map. For the next 9 waves, I couldn't even tell what was happening in the game. A lot of enemies, a lot of towers shooting at them, pretty much a lot that I don't want to explain because I'm too lazy. So let's move to the final boss. At the final wave 40, the Mechabite arrives. The strongest enemy of this mode, armed with miniguns and a rocket launcher, he just destroys every enemy near him. But since we had a raider with snipers, we beat him. It was a pretty strong battle, and for that, we got 1,000 coins with 450 experience. And don't forget that this is not the hardest game mode, just imagine what will be in the hardest one. And that's all for now. This game is pretty good and the best choice if you're bored of playing TDS all the time. I'll leave the game link in the description, so make sure to try it out.